My name is Kristen. I'm a practice-based research artist living on Garigal land, acknowledging the traditional owners past, present and emerging. My art practice responds to entering new sites as a colonial settler on traditional lands. Encountering sites disrupted came from my work on Garigal land where I live, in Guringai country. It came to me one day. I was walking through the bush and I came across a beautiful seam of ochre clay. I then got in touch with the local elder just in regards to permissions and parameters about how I can handle this clay, where I can take it, can I bring it back to my home to work with it. It was a wonderful discussion. I learned that it was a ceremonial ochre clay, and it was very special for me as a woman to be able to be handling this clay. So I then started investigating the Duffy's Forest brick pit quarry that was operating between 1960s and 1980s. They excavated amongst kaolin and other minerals, but it's particularly the ochre clay. So there is now very little of that ochre clay remaining on site. I learned that my home, where I live, not far from the quarry, was built with the clay that came from this quarry. So I started pressing commercial clays into the bricks of my home. I then took commercial clay on site and pressed it into the environment, pressed it into the rocks, and just trying to get amongst the landscape as much as I could, as I wasn't able to take or remove any of the ochre clay out of country. So I needed to find a way that I could illustrate and speak about my presence on country and take that off-site. I then started collecting organic matter, industrial metals. There was an old dumped car there as well, so I was able to pick up a whole lot of rusted car objects, and I began eco-dyeing onto different types of cottons and threads. So that eventuated in a very large textile. I then started screen printing images of the brick pit. I was in touch with family members who had their grandfathers working on in that quarry. So I was able to map out the site, have the images of the trucks, conversations with the people who worked there, and that was screen printed onto the textile as well. So as a way, the pressings of the clay, the bricks, the screen printing images were all mapped out on my textile of encountering sites disrupted. I'm very excited about Hunlad's approach to technologies. Working with ceramic artists, I feel that we are experimental in our approach with clay, and I think it's a very wonderful, exciting collaboration to have both those dialogues working together in this exhibition. XR's extended reality collaboration, I think, invites the viewer to initiate new dialogues and be imaginative about where these dialogues in ceramics and technology can, express themselves. I'm expecting to be surprised and expecting new dialogues to emerge from this collaboration together. I think what I'll say to people coming to the exhibition is, like myself, I'll be walking into this event with an open mind, and also do sit quietly with what I'm seeing and looking at and visualising what unexpected dialogues might come from what we're looking at, and hopefully that'll create new dialogues for them internally, that they may have their own takeaway of what they see.